We're coming in hot, motherfucker. It's Pro Wrestling Summit. It's Saturday. You know who it is. It's fucking Tatum. It's Knowledge. We're fucking making it happen.
What's going on, good villains?
Hey, there's my motherfucking Knowledge. Listen, man, it's been so fucking crazy in wrestling. It's been so fucking crazy. So crazy. You know, there's so much to talk about, but let's get a couple of things out of the way. Saraya.
Saraya, not Saraya. Saraya.
Saraya.
Yeah.
You gotta fucking say it right. She got mad at people for not saying it correctly,
Did.
which is fine. I get it. I get it.
Just maybe, put that out there years ago when you started using Saraya as your Twitter handle and everything, I mean.
When she came to the ring on Wednesday night and said, "I'm back," all I could think of is the gif of her, Paige here.
Paige here. Hello there, Paige here.
It's the only fucking thing that I could think of, man. I couldn't fucking think of nothing else but that, dude.
I made fun of that for years, too. Yeah, it popped right into my head.
Yeah. So she still gave no answers as to what she's going to do. If she's going to wrestle, if she's not going to wrestle.
Super confusing. She says this is her house now, which is... What does that mean? Like, are you going to run a stable or are you going to be in the ring? No. Let's do something,
Did you see how people reacted to the promo after she initially came out and she started talking? People were like, please just shut up.
Yeah,
no one wants to hear you.
She's rusty, She's rusty.
She lost the crowd.
Yeah, and
Britt Baker brought them back, and then she lost them again.
I feel like if she's known for a while that she was coming back. Like you would figure you would tune your skills again, just to kind of recalibrate a little bit. But I feel like she's put no work in and then just showed up and was like, "Yeah, I'm here now."
To do what, though?
Which we keep talking about WWE versus AEW. That I feel like that wouldn't happen in WWE. If they brought her back, they would have her running shit.
There's a plan in mind.
Yeah, it's just super confusing.
Does Tony really think that she's gonna provide that much of a draw, that she's gonna draw that many eyes to a product to justify her price tag?
Well, it's why I see Tony as very short-sighted, because I don't think he thinks it's going to be a draw in the long term, but I do think
he wants to get the initial pop from it. Yeah.
And before you know it, it'll be somebody else that's brought in to get the next pop, and it's pop, 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 pop.
Yeah, but why the fuck do you need to bring anybody in? You got fucking so many talented guys. You need to build stars.
The women's division struggling.
Struggling huge, but if she's not going to wrestle, then what the fuck is the point?
But is she not going to wrestle? I mean, we don't know.
And that's my problem. She does a fucking promo. She's like, "Oh, everyone from the women's division come out. Only the faces come out." I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. I kind of dig that. You know what I mean? The faces are showing her respect. Mm-hmm. And then I knew Britt Baker was coming out. I mean, you can't fucking not. I like how she's got the little fucking joints on her nose there and fucking fans chanting for Jamie Hayter. I'm like, okay, you fucking people get it.
Yep.
See, the thing that I like about fucking AEW fans, about like the live fans, is that they're very reminiscent of a ECW crowd. They get very when they like something, they really pop for it.
And I feel like it was either Bubba or it was JR that talked about it on their podcast this week, that when she came out, well, before she came out and they put Saraya on the Titantron, mm-hmm. people knew automatically what was going on. Whereas if that happened in WWE and they put Saraya on the screen, a lot of the fans that are in attendance would be like, "What the fuck is going on? Who's Saraya?" So the AEW fans are definitely more in the know and respond well to this stuff. But
there's a huge butt I knew that there was going to be a huge Rikishi-sized butt that was coming with that.
It's based off of time. There's diminishing returns the farther away you go from the emergence of that person. Think of CM Punk. CM Punk got huge pops, and then now everybody hates CM Punk.
Well, because he exposed himself, though, for being a fucking dickhead.
Well, yeah.
Everyone knew that he was a dickhead already.
Right.
But, like, he really fucking showed that he was an absolute fucking dickbag.
Right.
Which, I mean, he's a professional wrestler at the top echelon of fucking professional wrestling. He's definitely going to be a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
you can't be in that spot and be a fucking nice person. Like, that's not how the business is.
You're going to have to step on people. It is what it is.
And you're going to piss a lot of people off on your way. But the thing that really pisses me off about that whole situation is that he fucking propagated the entire thing. Was like, if somebody has a problem, they can come up to me in the locker room or in the fucking hallway and say something. And somebody did, and you fucking wanted to immediately try to play fucking Johnny Tough Guy MMA and fucking throw a real live round at one of the fucking Young Bucks, supposedly, and then, you know, all hell breaks loose.
Yeah.
And it's not fucking, you know what? It's not fucking fair. If you want to fucking handle that business, that's fine. But, like, do it behind closed doors. Don't be fucking screaming and yelling and getting other fucking people involved in your fucking bullshit. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, if you're going to fucking handle your business in a locker room, just fucking handle it.
Yeah.
Just be done with it. You don't need to say that shit publicly. You are a fucking... What that makes you look like is an attention-seeking whore.
Yeah.
That's what it makes you look like.
And now people are seeing him as that, and it is what it is. But he had, you know, diminishing returns after a while. Sting, when he came back, he had a huge pop, diminishing returns now.
That guy's fucking 60-something years old. He's taking table bumps every show. I'm like, this is fucking... Why am I watching this?
Bryan Danielson, he had a huge pop, and then he's had diminishing returns since.
Well, they haven't used him right at all.
I would say that Jericho is the only one that... Jericho and Mox are the only ones that have kind of maintained some stability with their original pushes, you know, their original pops.
As far as I'm concerned, dude, Jericho is the most over guy in the company.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
I don't think there's any comparison. No. And listen, man, I have been very difficult when it comes to Jericho in terms of his career, because at times in his career I was like, I don't like this shit at all.
Yeah.
And I think that he was just being misused, but his ability to be able to find marketability in anything that he's doing. He switched his fucking nickname like every fucking 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And people are into it.
Yep.
Now it's the Ocho Chris Jericho, which is fucking hysterical. Yeah. It's even better than the Wizard. I'm the Wizard. Like, it's even better. I'm the Ocho Chris Jericho. Yeah. Like, that is fucking money shit.
Yeah.
And like, but he's done it since forever.
Yeah.
I mean, since they gave him a microphone to be able to talk in WCW, he has been able to fucking captivate a crowd.
And that's kept him fresh, and I feel like that's what, like you said, it's kept him as the most over person in AEW.
He's a fucking 50-something-year-old guy.
But Saraya is not going to do that. How long do you think she has before people are just done with the questions of what is she going to do? I honestly give it another week. A few more shows, and it's not clear what she's actually doing. Fans are going to turn on her.
I mean, listen, as far as I'm concerned right now, as it stands right now, I gave her a huge fucking reaction when she first came out. Mm-hmm. And I like what she did. She didn't talk initially. Mm-hmm. She just didn't say nothing. And I think less is more with her.
It was very smart. You know, the heels doubled out of the ring. She takes the ring.
Yeah.
You know, very well done.
You give her the big fucking, oh, shit.
Yeah.
Wow, oh, you know, oh, everyone's like fucking, oh, shit, she's here.
Yeah, I wasn't watching that live. You texted me when she popped out. And I'm like, what the fuck do you mean?
In caps, by the way.
Right.
In motherfucking caps.
Right.
But the thing that I don't understand about it is unless they're gonna run like an entire separate women's show that she's gonna be the fucking head of, which would be cool, but NWA already tried that with Mickie James, and Billy Corgan was like, hey, like, I love the idea, I think it's great women's empowerment, but it's not money drawing.
Right.
Like, you're not that's not a pay-per-view that you're going to draw money from. Like, people are not going to tune into that every week to watch it.
They already have too much on their show.
It's fucking crazy.
And they don't have enough of a solid women's division to let Saraya come out every week and be the one woman that is being present.
Now, let me ask a question, dude. Why is Jade Cargill not being featured on television every fucking episode?
I can't understand it. You're talking about somebody that has the total package there. Like, that would be the person you put up front and center. You don't need to give... So now, we have no idea what Soraya's contract is. But
I'm sure it's stout.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a big, fat bag.
I'm sure that she's not taking a discount, you know? But I can't imagine paying her that much when you have people that can perform and are performing and are drawing people. Why not just feature them? Why do you have to have these pops? I feel like Tony Khan's afraid of not having these pops.
I think that he is so dead set on giving the fans what he thinks that they want. But I don't want to see WWE people in AEW. I like the homegrown guys, the Wardlows of the world.
It goes back to the WCW comparisons.
Yeah, I mean, and it's really unfortunate, man. It's really unfortunate. Now, don't get me wrong. There are many cases of WWE guys going over there and being very successful and fucking really, like, pushing the envelope. But let's fucking face facts and say what it is, dude. No one cares about the titles. The titles mean fucking very little.
Well, when there's 45 of them, I mean...
Yeah. Number two, MJF is the most over fucking thing in wrestling. Even more over than Roman Reigns right now. I'm sorry to say... No, actually, I'm not sorry to say. Good for a 26-year-old kid being able to fucking captivate the business like he has and make millions of dollars because of it. Good for him. He got paid and he fucking did what he had to do. Do I think that a lot of it was a shoot? No. I think that it was all work and he went away for a little while and fucking came back as the biggest fucking heel in the world. But you can't even imagine what type of face run he is going to fucking have once this heel thing... He just gets done with it, and it's time to turn him face. Because the fans already want it.
Oh, yeah.
They already want to cheer him. They are cheering him.
Right.
He comes out, he cuts promos calling himself, lazy pieces of trash and sons of bitches, and, like, he's fucking swearing at him up and down. He doesn't care. They don't care.
Well, no, they do boo him, and I feel like that's, again, we can talk about the difference between an AEW crowd and a WWE crowd is the AEW crowd is smart. They're going to cheer you when you come out, and the second that you do your heel shit, they're going to give you the boos that you want.
Because they want to be a part of the show. They want to be part of the act. In WWE, it is not inclusive like that because they don't have a set-in fan base like AEW does. AEW has these people that it is very much brand loyalty. I gotta say, it is very much tribalism when it comes to fucking certain wrestling organizations and, like, you know, even independent wrestling organizations. This independent wrestling organization is the best. This one's the best. No,
and you're all wrong. You're all wrong.
It doesn't really matter.
None of them are the best. They're all different. There's a big fucking difference between the best and different.
Listen, I love Pro Wrestling Guerrilla. Not for the fucking technical wrestling, but because it makes me fucking laugh. They do shit on that show that is fucking hysterical. The thumbs in the asses spot, where they all got in a line with fucking Jushin Thunder Liger and everyone shoved a thumb in everyone else's ass. It was like 10 people in a line. It was awesome. And there is a place for that comedy wrestling. When I watch Ring of Honor, I don't want to fucking see comedy wrestling.
Right.
And speaking of Ring of Honor, you have a fucking big issue with this Ring of Honor thing.
I have a huge problem with Ring of Honor. What the fuck? I really hope, Tatum, that you are right here with they are putting the ROH championship on Jericho to give a bigger name, the recognition with it so that they can create their own show. But why the fuck am I going to AEW to watch ROH? I don't want to go to AEW to watch ROH. Give ROH its own show so that I can go to ROH and watch ROH.
Even if it's internet only.
Right.
Even do what you do with Dark and Elevation. Draw the numbers up and then fucking see if fans are actually watching it or not.
Chris Jericho is an AEW original at this point, right? He was there right at the beginning. You know, he's their first champion. Not
a vice president.
Not a vice president, right. He was always just talent.
He could have been a vice president.
Easily.
He could have been the president of the fucking company.
I'm pretty sure that Tony Khan would have given him anything he wanted. Because
at that point?
He was the biggest name. The biggest name. But I don't want to see Chris Jericho, AEW Chris Jericho, as ROH champion. I don't care about the ROH championship when it's on Chris Jericho. And maybe that's just me. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. But I don't see it as like I'm still wondering why he even cared about the ROH championship. You were AEW champion. You were in the running to be the next AEW championship. AEW champion. Why are you going after the ROH championship?
Yeah, it doesn't. That part of it doesn't make a lot of sense unless it was for the marketing purposes of having him as ROH champion. Because listen, if you're trying to sell that to a fucking TV network,
yeah,
Claudio Castagnoli's my champion. These people are gonna go, who?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Chris Jericho is my champion. Oh, yeah, you know the guy that they sing his entrance music? Like, we have to shut the music off and everyone sings the music?
Yeah.
Even though he's a bad guy?
And right now it's very smart. You know, let's put the title on Jericho. Let's get some sort of program for this, whether it's an internet program or something.
Get a couple of sponsors.
Claudio needs to have his rematch. Let Claudio have his rematch, let Claudio go over, and then have Eddie Kingston go after Claudio. Then you reignite that feud.
Now, that would be interesting.
And that's going to be a knockdown, drag-out feud that ROH fans are going to love.
Yeah, to be quite honest with you, dude, I don't know if Claudio wants to wrestle that type of style anymore. I mean, he's, in his mid-40s now, and Eddie Kingston wrestles a different type of mean.
But Eddie Kingston has been showing some more adaptability, though. Mm-hmm. So I feel like they don't need to wrestle that style, but their original feud never had a finish.
Well, I mean,
Claudio went to WWE.
Yeah, this is what fans have been waiting for. I mean, they started wrestling each other in fucking Chicago.
Yeah.
I'm dating myself, but this is way back in the motherfucking day.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Claudio was fucking really good. Mm-hmm. But he also was so big compared to everybody else wrestling in the indies at that time, especially the Shikara guys.
Yeah.
Because it was more comedy-based wrestling. A lot of technical stuff, but it was a lot of comedy-based wrestling. And then he exploded, man. Once ROH exploded, he exploded with ROH. And he showed that he can fucking wrestle with anybody. And honestly, I think the huge turning point in his career is when he wrestled with fucking Chris Hero and the Kings of Wrestling tag team. I mean, you say whatever you want about Chris Hero. That fucking guy is an incredible professional wrestler.
Oh, I totally agree. I just feel like he didn't give it his all when he had his chance.
I mean, how do you you got one job, bro? Stay in shape.
That's it. You know, and you're working for the biggest wrestling company in the world. Just stay in shape.
In some shape.
Especially since everybody around you is just working on being in shape. That's it. You're going to the gym and you're training, and that's it.
As soon as they put him out on fucking television with a fucking jersey on, I said that's it. It's all over. I said you might as well just fucking pack it in, bro.
Yeah.
Because they're not going to give you any play.
And I liked Chris Hero on NXT.
Yeah, the Cassius Ohno shit, I dig it.
I liked it a lot, but you could tell he was going nowhere.
It's really unfortunate because fucking super skilled, man. He can wrestle his ass off. I don't know what he's doing now, but I mean, I wish that he would fucking be with a bigger company.
And he had everything. He could wrestle his ass off. He was great on the mic. Like, he knew the psychology of the in-ring work.
He was a student of the game. A real student of the game.
And I mean, he would, if he put the work in on his physicality, on his body, he probably would have been at the top of WWE at some point.
Oh, my God. I mean, he had the size.
Yeah,
I mean, the size was there.
Right.
And he could do things athletically. I mean, that
freak of nature type of
flip
stuff.
Over the ropes that he lands on the apron on his feet, dude.
Crazy.
Insane, dude. Some of his kicks, how he's able to throw the kicks from weird angles and shit. Like, he had cool submissions. He was using the cravat a lot. He was dragging people down in the cravat suplex. And, like, it was really good stuff, man. But, you know, the weight caught up to him, and WWE never gave him a fair shot because of that. Yep. But listen, when you go there, that's a body place. Like, you got to be in somewhat
even on the indie scene, and I'm not even talking about like the big indie scene. I'm talking about the local indie scene. People know like you have to work on your body. If you're planning on going somewhere, you're going to the gym. You're borrowing a buddy's membership to go to the gym.
Unless you have a dope gimmick,
Right? But you're getting like spray tans and shit. Like you're doing everything you can to like put the image out there.
Yeah.
That you look like what these big companies want.
Have you seen this new character that they're trying to fucking that they're trying to do on NXT? This Quincy Carter character, Quincy Jones. No, it's not Quincy Jones.
No, I can't say that I have.
He's like it's kind of like a cross between like King Mabel and like Gold Dust.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I saw that.
I was very not confused by the gimmick because I like the gimmick. I was just confused by like where is like the like I get the joke part of it, but like where is the like actual in-ring competition? Like, okay, cool, you can squash somebody like Yokozuna, but like what else am I like? I'm looking for something here.
Yeah.
Like, and the gimmick, like the diva gimmick, it's not like it doesn't even feel natural to him.
Right. It doesn't. It completely feels out of place.
Yeah.
It's super confusing and really unnecessary. The androgynous part of it that has like that gold dust flair to it doesn't really match with today's world. You know.
Well, because everything's so inclusive now, but like it's almost like they're singling him out, like.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's very fucking strange, like, how they put that fucking package together.
It's one of those things where they clearly, like, tossed this at him and were like, here, you're going to do the best you can with it, and it's not going to work for him. He'll be gone.
It's terrible because that, you know, I think that he has a lot of talent. He has charisma. And that's something that is sorely lacking in today's wrestling. It's fucking guys with actual, legitimate charisma who aren't afraid to show their ass a little bit.
But I mean, you have, you know, think of like, you know, what happened with Fandango, you know.
Saddled with a terrible gimmick. Great worker, terrible gimmick.
And it just, that's your career right there. Now, Fandango made it work with how charismatic he was, where he was on WWE programming for a good amount of time.
Yeah.
But he was never. You could tell the second that he came out with that gimmick, he was never getting anywhere.
As soon as he was dancing, I was like, "That's it."
Never getting anywhere near a major championship.
It's all over, man.
That's it.
It's all over. Isn't it funny how you can like you see somebody come out one time in a gimmick and you go, "Nope."
I've mentioned it before, but the Funkasaurus, man, Brodus Clay was
guy
a murderer.
Could have been a killer.
And he comes out with a Funkasaurus, and you're like, "This was all of that was a waste. All the promos, all the vignettes, they were all a waste." Everything.
Dude, so many guys I've seen that happen to, and I just go, oh no, it's not good, man. And it's been even worse since they started like developing indie talent, because I've seen these guys work on the indies, and like I'm like, oh my god, dude, you were so fucking good on the indies, and like now you get here, and now you're on the biggest stage of them all. And you're way underperforming.
Yep.
And I don't understand why.
Well, I mean, they're saddled with these gimmicks, and I feel like they can't say no. Because if they say no, they're just going to be kicked to the curb.
Which is stupid, dude. You have to have some sort of creative fucking mind to be in this business. You got to be able to come up with shit. Listen, if somebody pitches you a bad idea, have a better one.
Right.
That's all.
Right.
If you have a better idea, they'll go, oh, okay, like that better.
Right.
Or, oh, let's try to develop that a little bit more.
Which is interesting that, you know, you see that in AEW where people do have creative control, and now you have the Malachi Blacks and the Buddy Murphys that are like, I'm just going to not wrestle. I'm just going to step away. Because you're not doing what I think you should be doing with my character, so I'm stepping away.
Dude, it's a job at the end of the day. You are hired by this guy to do a job.
Yep.
So, like, regardless about how you feel about it, it's your... What I mean, you can decide whether to do the job or not, but don't, like... You can't expect for this guy then to just release you of your contract and you can just go wherever the fuck you want.
That I agree with. Don't sign. I'll go back to Triple H with this one when he was in WCW. Well, when he first started WWF. And he did this interview about it, and he said, they wanted to give me like a 2-year contract or a 3-year contract and lowball me with the amount that I was going to pay. He said, no, I'll do a 1-year contract. And they looked at him and said, well, really, a 1-year contract? He's like, yeah, because in a year, you're either going to pay me way more than what you're paying me now, or you're going to see I'm not worth it for your company and you're going to kick me to the curb. Mm-hmm. But in a year's time, I'm either going to make it or I'm not.
And in that business, you have to have that type of balls,
right?
And that confidence to be like, hey, yo, give me a year. If I can't fucking get over and fucking make it happen, and you don't see a fucking uptick, and you don't think that I'm worth twice as much, then fucking I'll split.
So Malachi Black, Buddy Murphy, they sign these long contracts. All these guys, they go from WWE and they sign these long contracts with AEW. Then they're not happy at AEW. Hunter comes back, is running creative, and they're like, I want to go back to WWE. I don't blame Tony Khan for being like, no, I'll fucking pay you, but you're going to sit and do nothing for the rest of your contract. You agreed to this contract. I didn't force you to sign this contract. You signed to it for the stability and
the creative freedom,
right,
to do what you want to do.
Right.
Listen, I'm not in Malachi Black and Buddy Murphy's circumstance. I wouldn't be happy with the booking either. Mm-hmm. Having to work a fucking 65-year-old guy and another guy who's 135 pounds. It doesn't make a lot of sense. Mm-hmm. You fucking sprayed mist in their eyes. You've kicked both their head off. There's nothing else to do. Okay? And to be quite honest with you, it's talent wasted. Mm-hmm. All 3 of those guys are fucking hella talented. Mm-hmm. Okay? And even Darby Allin is talented. Don't fucking get it twisted. I think Darby Allin is fucking hella talented. But you can only be a fucking human fucking bump machine for so long before your body just says, no. I sent you the clip of him getting tossed out of the ring, dude. That Chris Dickinson clip. I fucking still to this day go, oh my God, I can't believe he's alive.
He could have easily just been paralyzed from that one bump, and for what?
What'd you get paid? $100?
There was
maybe
there was like 20 people in that show. There was, I mean, what was the point? And that was the opening salvo in the match.
And I get it, dude. Suffering for your art, I get it. But
there's a line.
Yeah. I mean, there's especially when you get to that echelon, you don't need to do that anymore.
But I also understand the other end of it, where Tony Khan and these guys are offering these contracts, and it's like, well, so I made the mistake. I went on Twitter, and people when more information came out about Malachi Black's release, which isn't a release, he's not actually released. He's still under contract. Now he's talking about coming back in like a few weeks, a few months, whatever. Probably because Tony Khan won't actually give him a release.
Right. So he knows that he has to keep his fans engaged, and he needs to collect merch and fucking all this other shit.
Right. And people are like, well, if the company can just release him willy-nilly, then he should be able to just leave his contract if he doesn't want to be there. And it's like, then there's no reason for a goddamn contract. There's no reason for a contract. If you want to negotiate in your contract that you can't release me, that any release has to be mutually agreed upon, then put that in your contract and get both sides to sign.
You have the right to do that.
You can negotiate your contract. You don't have to say, oh, hey, they're going to pay me this much money and all this, but they can fucking kick me to the curb whenever.
Now, a lot of people in a lot of circumstances say, wrestlers shouldn't have a manager, like a business manager. I think you're completely wrong.
Absolutely.
You should have an agent or somebody who is representing you, because at the end of the day, you're an entertainer and an athlete at the same time. Well, you need somebody protecting your interests who's going to go in there and talk about your contract, because let's face facts, your ideal situation should be you're only focused on wrestling.
Yeah.
Contracts should be negotiated with managers or agents.
Right.
I don't care if it's your wife. I don't care who the fuck it is, but somebody should be negotiating your contract. Your job is to wrestle, not to fucking negotiate a contract.
And especially where a lot of these people are coming from, a lot of these wrestlers are coming from, where this
humble beginnings. Right. They're coming from nothing.
Right.
And somebody sticks $100K in their face and they go, Oh yeah, dude, that's a lot of dough. I was only making $100 on the indies.
Yeah.
I'd need to work fucking 10 shows a month.
Also, they're bumping around from indie promotion to indie
Correct.
promotion. Now you get handed a contract, 5-year contract for $100K a year.
Plus fucking royalties on the fucking merch.
Plus benefits with AEW's case.
Yep.
Well, yeah, I'm going to easily sign that. You know,
See, and that's
now you're locked in for 5 years, but you didn't have anybody to look it over, and that's the problem.
But that's the thing. Like, a business manager or an agent would be like, "Hey, yo, like, let's fucking play ball a little bit here.
Right. If they want to sign you,
right? Let's do a 2-year deal,
right,
instead of a 5-year deal,
and negotiate the release policy.
Exactly.
There. They want to release you. Then they have to talk with you. You both have to agree to it.
Are there advantages to working at AEW? Yes,
100%.
100%, because they're offering you health insurance.
There's also advantages to working for WWE.
Yes, not as many business advantages. Just in terms of like the money that you're getting paid and like
the visibility.
Well, see, now that is a completely separate thing. The marketing is where the game changes a bit.
Right.
WWE is king. There's no listen. Fucking AEW, they are definitely the closest competition that they've had in a long time.
Santino Marella can go anywhere and get a $10,000 payday, no questions asked. Do a promo for a couple minutes, $10,000. Here you go. Mm-hmm. Because he's Santino Marella, because he worked with WWE. Mm-hmm. I mean, the benefit there, you're set.
Those guys are getting more long-term money,
right?
Afterwards,
right. So even if your career doesn't pan out,
yeah,
you still can say if you made it somehow, I was this person in WWE, some random promotion is going to pay me big bucks to come in and do 5 minutes. I don't even have to take a bump.
Like, think about if Foley never did fucking Mankind.
I mean,
he would have been working in TNA,
Cactus Jack,
taking bumps for Abyss at like 50 years old.
Yeah, he would have been known for Cactus Jack and ECW, and yeah, he would eventually got to Impact and done stuff with Abyss. But
no, that guy has been a best-selling author like fucking 6 times or something. He's been in fucking movies.
Yeah,
he's had TV shows. Like, the fucking guy has run the gamut, and he commands big money.
He's a household name. Household name. Done. Right there. Done.
And not from throwing himself on concrete.
No, but that helped.
Well, back then, in the United States, people weren't doing that shit.
No.
In Japan, that was like, in some of the promotions like FMW and shit, and like ECW, that was the norm, but like, when he was doing that shit on WCW in like 92, dropping elbow drops on people from the fucking ring apron, dude, people were looking at this guy going, what the fuck? Now, this guy is off his fucking rocker.
Now an elbow drop off the stage is like, yeah, okay. All right. You didn't do a swanton from 30 feet up. So
the level of violence has gone so fucking far removed from what even it was 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Yeah.
It's so different. Like, a chair shot would fucking level somebody. Now, a chair shot, people are taking them in the back and they're like barely selling. They're just rolling back into the ring like...
A chair shot's working into another move at this point.
Oh my God. It's so fucking frustrating though, because it's like the wrestling that I grew up on and the wrestling that I love tells the story. It's not so much about the moves... It's about the finish. Mm-hmm. Everything about how you get to the finish and the story surrounding your match. Mm-hmm. And I don't care if it's the opening match in a program. I want to see the story.
Yeah.
They don't have that anymore. There's not a story. It's just, okay, you and you fucking go out there and have a banger of a match.
Right.
There's no continuity.
That's what I told you was my problem with AEW, is that a lot of the matches that happen, it's like they're just kind of thrown together. I saw a clip of Samoa Joe in ROH, and a whole match was I know you don't like Samoa Joe. It's the story factor. It's not the Samoa Joe.
The continuity.
Right.
You had texted me about this.
Yeah, so, everyone's leaving. They did their whole, like, end of the show thing. Everybody's walking out. Him and another wrestler bump shoulders on the way out. And as they're leaving, and, Samoa Joe's kind of like, oh, all right, you go ahead. And the other guy's like, all right, you go ahead. And they both go and they bump again. Now one gets pissed. He shoves Samoa Joe. Samoa Joe shoves him back. All of a sudden they get in the ring. Like, let's have a fucking match right now. Let's go. You want to fuck around? Let's have a match. Even something as simple as that. It's like they're fighting over something stupid, and I love it. I love it. They're both hotheads. They're going to tear each other apart because they bumped into each other. Love it.
It's the simplest things that tell the best stories.
Yeah.
Think about the things that they fucking had back in the day. The fucking World Class, okay, did this fucking angle with Chris Adams where he got blinded by Gino Hernandez with fucking, rubbing alcohol or Nair or whatever the fuck it was. Mm-hmm. And he, like, threw it in his fucking eyes. Gino Hernandez didn't leave, Chris Adams didn't leave his house, bro. Mm-hmm. He fucking, anytime he was out in public, he had fucking gauze over his eyes, pretending that he was blind. And then he comes in the ring after one of Gino's matches, and the fucking fans are going crazy. He's being led to the ring, and Gino's taunting the fucking fans. I'm gonna kill this son of a bitch. And Gino turns his back, and Chris Adams fucking takes the gauze off of his fucking eyes and starts beating the piss out of Gino.
And a huge pop.
Huge pop. That fucking place like came on. The Sportatorium was out of fucking control.
Yeah.
The simplest fucking thing. Mm-hmm. How hard is that to do? To take a substance or some sort of chemical as a heel. Mm-hmm. And, dude, Mr. Fuji, as a manager, using the salt, Yokozuna's salt, he did it when he was the manager of Powers of Pain, too. He'd throw the fucking powder in people's eyes all the time. Yeah. How easy is that?
Super simple.
To start a program with somebody.
Yeah.
They started programs with somebody stealing somebody's ring jacket back in the day.
Yeah.
Andre was afraid of the snake. That was the biggest thing. Andre was fucking deathly afraid of the snake. He would run from Jake the Snake, and the snake, every time he would see the bag, you'd never see that man move quicker. I think he was legitimately afraid.
I don't doubt that at all. I don't doubt that at all.
But as a giant, why the fuck are you afraid of it? You could step on the thing and it's dead.
Think of elephants and mice, man.
What do you mean?
Elephants are deathly afraid of mice.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, you got to look up videos of elephants and mice, man. They see these. I mean, there's no real explaining it. All I can assume is that it's so small and everything. They see these little things running around, and they're like, "What the fuck is that?" They freak out, man. They freak out. Jesus Christ, bro. Yeah, I guess, man. I guess that kind of makes sense. Snakes are scary. It doesn't matter if you're a giant or not, They move around. They don't have feet. How the fuck does that happen? Yeah. Talk about a fucking great... They shed their skin. Talk about a great gimmick, though. Yeah. Jake the Snake. Yeah. I love the gimmicks back then, dude. The gimmick, Mr. Perfect, the $1 Million Man. So simple. Jake the Snake has come out recently and talked about, like, his addiction issues and everything. He's always talking about his addiction issues. Yeah. But he said that, like, people were fucking... The wrestlers were brutal to him when he got sober. They would, like, put all sorts of substances in his bags and stuff so that, like, he would... They wanted him to relapse. Of course. And they would, like, call him a pussy and all this shit. Mm-hmm. Apparently, The Undertaker stood up for him at one point and was like, if you keep fucking with him, he's going to go back to the old Jake, and you don't want to fuck with the old Jake. Yeah, nobody wants that. That guy they called him, like, the legitimate devil. Like, he was, like, the devil. Right. Which is crazy to me. To think that his drug addiction really didn't get heavy until Honky Tonk broke his neck with that fucking ungimmick guitar that he blasted him in the fucking head with. But again, that's pain. What do you take for pain? You take painkillers. That shit just goes right into... Crack, heroin. He was fucking doing all that shit, man. It's a slippery slope.
Talk about a fucking unbelievable talent, though. That guy, captivating, man. He'd suck you right in and never raise his voice.
Another one that never really got a fair shake in WWF, well, WWF at the time. You know, I feel like it could have gone. Yeah, I feel like it could have gotten
him and Perfect. I feel never really, and $1 Million Man too. Never really got a fair shake.
Yeah, I feel like they all had more to. They definitely all had more to give in WWF than they were given the chance to show.
Yeah, I mean, Perfect is. I was asked this question probably 2 or 3 years ago. Who was the one person that I think deserved to win the fucking World Heavyweight Championship in WWE that never did? And I was like, Mr. Perfect for sure.
Hands down. Yeah.
I don't even think it's close, man. Like, he bumped around for everybody and made people look like $1 million, and then as soon as he hooked on that Perfect Plex, it was over.
Well, people would say Owen, you know, but that's a whole different
Owen.
That's a whole different situation. He wasn't at that point yet. If he continued on in his career, I think he would have gotten to that point.
He was never going to get to that point.
I think he could have, you know, but
I was never a huge Owen fan. It didn't compute for me. I liked him better. I liked him better as the Rocket. You know, as crazy as that sounds, and people are gonna laugh about that gimmick, that fucking gimmick was perfect for the style that he wrestled. As soon as he put on a fucking singlet and like turned into Bret, I was like, I'm not interested in this anymore. It doesn't. There's already a Bret Hart.
yeah, I can see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? Like,
I just feel like that program with Bret put him on a different helped to elevate him.
100%.
And I feel like, you know, with the promo work that he could do with his brother, if he could make that translate to other programs, that he would have reached that level at some point.
Was that the one that they did the quick sunset flip?
Oh yeah,
Into the pin.
yeah.
They did like a sunset flip spot, and he fucking hooked Bret's legs like and fucking pinned them, and Bret kicked out like just after 3.
Right.
And was sitting in the ring like, what?
Nobody does that anymore either, by the way. Nobody kicks out just after 3.
Well, no, because it's a get your shit in. You know, that's how this fucking shit. Listen, that's how the wrestling business is now, man.
But I always loved that shit. Like, you just barely and it lets you know that a kick out doesn't necessarily
happen.
Right. It doesn't necessarily mean that a kick out means you kicked out.
Well, now you gotta damn near fucking. You have to decapitate somebody to fucking get a 3 count.
I don't know, decapitate and then maybe make sure that you tie the shoulders down or something.
Yeah, but then they beat the guy with like a low blow or like a fucking flying DDT. I'm like, what the fuck is going on?
Or even worse, just a roll up. Just you kill this guy with 4 or 5 finishers.
See, I kind of like the old school pin finish because it's kind of a surprise.
I would agree with you if it was being used like that.
Yeah, it's not being used like that. You're kicking out of every fucking finishing move known to man.
Right. I love when they just, you know what, you feel like this match is going to go 15 minutes. It's 5 minutes in, you surprise rolled them up. Done.
Quick schoolboy.
You duck out of the ring, like, enjoy your victory. You know, you realize you got one over on the guy. But when you are in a 15, 20-minute banger, you've hit like 5 finishers at this point. They've hit 5 finishers. You've done all this shit to kill each other. And you schoolboy them and roll them up. And it's like, what the fuck? What just happened?
Oh, man. Yeah, it's pretty fucking crazy how wrestling is so different, man. Like, when's the last time you've seen like a real submission move that's like, you put it on and that's it?
I still, to this day, when Mox slaps on the sleeper hold, I'm like, what? That turned into a rest hold years ago.
I mean, a sleeper hold can definitely be done to put somebody out.
To win the championship with that?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know about winning the championship with that. I mean, Gunther does a fucking sleeper hold, and so does Samoa Joe, but they at least make it look a little bit more. They suck the person in and grapevine their legs around them. And
they're also like bigger than the people they're doing it against.
Yeah, that's
you know,
true.
I mean,
true, yeah.
Technically, Mox was bigger than Bryan Danielson, but I mean,
Bryan Danielson's like 5'7".
Yeah, but I just to me a sleeper hold is unbelievable for that.
Do you think he's the best in the world?
Who?
Danielson.
The best wrestler in the world?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You put me on the spot here. So we're talking about the best professional wrestler in the world or the best technical wrestler in the world?
He's not the best professional wrestler in the world because his promo skills are atrocious.
All right.
Thank you.
That's pretty good.
They are. They're really bad, man. They're fucking. His promo skills are really terrible.
I feel like at one time he was. I feel like there are plenty of people that have surpassed him at this point. And that's not just an age or injury thing. It's just what happens.
I mean, listen, his work is impeccable. He does incredible things in the ring. He is able to do things as a technical wrestler that not many other people are able to do, and he makes it all look believable.
And I would say his peak was even before the whole Yes Movement thing. I think his...
Oh, yeah, dude. His run in ROH was his peak.
Oh, no, I was going to go with WWE, but him with AJ Lee... I feel like was his peak of his technical wrestling.
Yeah.
And that's when nobody was doing that technical style, and he was like bringing it back. I feel like he was, and he had a shaved head and everything. Not shaved, but like, he was like a crew cut basically.
With the light beard.
Yeah.
Like the stubble beard.
Yeah. I thought that's some of his best technical wrestling. And he played a snivelly little heel too, which I love the snivelly heels.
Yeah.
Big fan of that.
I mean, I've always been into the Ring of Honor thing since they, started doing shows. I've always been into it, trying to get DVDs and shit. Like, ever since, like, they came out with the DVDs, I was like, oh, I'm fucking into it. So I've seen literally from the first show of ROH.
Yeah.
And that was the first time I ever saw Bryan Danielson. And I watched him in the ring, and I said, there's not another person that's as fluid as that kid. Because he was a kid. I mean, literally a baby-faced kid.
And I think that's why I don't give him as much credit, because the people that he was wrestling in ROH, I feel, couldn't keep up with him. And that...
Oh, he was far superior than everyone else in
so that,
ROH.
like, he did get to the WWE where people could keep up with him and make him look like $1 million too.
Yeah.
And selling those knees like they was.
Yeah, I mean, they did a fucking... I mean, those guys fucking really made him look like a star. And rightfully so. I mean, he should have looked like a star.
And when he slapped on his crossface, too, that was another one that was like, he's going to slap on that crossface, you're done.
It's over.
Now, it's not that way anymore.
Well, because people are getting to the ropes, they're rolling out of it, they fucking got a million different fucking variations to that.
But, you need to have submission specialists. You need to have...
got to.
And they need to... It needs to work just like... a regular finisher, where if that's going to be your finisher and that's a submission, you slap it on, that's it. It's done. There's obviously moments of suspense, even with like Bret Hart,
just barely rolling over the sharpshooter to hook somebody.
But he locks in that sharpshooter and you're thinking, that's it. It's done, And you're right. There's a lot of submission moves that are slapped on. It's like, this is... All right,
it's like a rest hold more than it is a fucking actual fucking move. Let's
see, it's like another 3 minutes before they find some way out of this,
Yeah, that's fucking... that bothers me, man. It bothers me, the lack of fucking submission holds, because you can tell a story with the submission hold really, really well.
Also, the way that they lock them in, like a submission specialist is locking it in so it hurts. It's unbearable. You're not sitting in there forever. Think of like Chris Benoit. He would lock in his crossface, and it was a regular match, he locks in that crossface. You're tapping out immediately. If it's a main event,
you're drawing it out.
Right, you're drawing
out the drama.
And even then, you have whoever's locked in that crossface. They're holding their hand up. They're shaking it. They're almost tapping, and then they claw to the ropes or something. Try to roll them out of it. Something, but.
Kurt Angle did the best.
Kurt Angle with the ankle lock, I mean...
what a great move to be able to sell, because you're able to get up on your hands and actually face sell to the crowd. So it really... The crossface, that's tough because you can see the grip on the face, and if you're even a little light on the grip, you can really tell if you're not wrenching up on that fucking thing. And why does that person have a reason to tap?
Right.
That's why I love the leg submissions, because you can really get a good... I always love the Boston Crab. Like, I fucking love the Boston Crab. The figure four... I wasn't like a huge fan of it because it's actually really easy to roll somebody over in the fucking figure four.
It does hurt like a son of a bitch.
It's fucking if somebody really fucking locks that thing on, that fucking hurts like a motherfucker.
I remember the first time I was put in a figure four.
It's not fucking.
I was like,
this
is a joke. It's not gonna end. The second it's not even fully locked in yet, and you're like, why do my shins fucking hurt the way they do? Like, what the fuck is going on?
The first submission hold that I was ever put in. Ever in my entire life was the Indian Deathlock. And let me tell you something. I felt like my groin was going to implode when that fucking foot hit my inside of my knee and started pushing outward. And my little friend, well, I shouldn't say little, he was like a teenager, and I was like fucking 8. Yeah. And he's got me in this fucking thing on my front lawn, and I'm going, fucking screaming like a motherfucker, dude. I was like, oh shit, these guys aren't playing. This is for serious.
This sucks. I hate it.
This is real. This is fucking real, man. Like, what? How can anyone do that and not hurt? All these fucking people telling me it's fake. You're all full of shit. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
You know, but when you're a kid, you fucking try to mimic that shit, and it's like, god damn, bro. Like, I know that how people can get hurt. Like, can you imagine, dude? Like, I've definitely given somebody a pile driver. Yeah. Like, there are a million ways for that to go wrong.
Now this is going to sound weird because you love the Boston Crab. I feel like the Texas Cloverleaf is not nearly as bad as a crab. It's supposed to do more. I feel like it's not as bad as a crab, and I don't understand why.
Nah, because your leg's bent. Your leg's bent. You're not really sitting on the back. With the Boston Crab, if you put on the fucking Boston Crab,
you are on their back,
you are sitting on their back. Like, I love Jericho's Lion Tamer because it's he gets the high angle with it, so it's like really, it's aesthetically, it looks great, but it probably doesn't fucking hurt at all.
Right.
But when you're sitting on a motherfucker's back and you have his legs completely wrenched up in your armpits, that motherfucker is going to know about it.
Yeah.
I don't care how much yoga you've done, DDP can suck my dick because that fucking thing hurts like a bitch. The sharpshooter can also hurt like a bitch
if it's not put on by The Rock.
Oh my god! What? So like, bad. Dude, what the fuck, man? And he didn't even sit down with it. He was like half squatting.
He put it on with the wrong leg. He would always step to the wrong side.
I don't understand.
It was so bad.
You had one job. You had one job. But there's a guy who also I didn't like wrestling.
Yeah,
I wasn't a fan of The Rock. Like, I just didn't get it. Like, I like Stone Cold, but I like Stone Cold for his promos. I didn't like it for the wrestling. The last great match that I saw Stone Cold in was against Bret Hart in WrestleMania 13.
You didn't like his match against KO?
Listen, for what it was.
Yeah. It was good. For what it was. Yeah.
I didn't expect that much.
Right.
He went out there and gave the fans a show.
I didn't think that he would ever give as much as he gave.
Bro, he was fighting all over the crowd, drinking beers, blown up as a motherfucker, and just having a fucking blast. And that's what I love to see when... that's what Sting should be doing.
Yeah.
Come back and just have fun.
Oh my god, the bump that he took.
Bro, with his head hitting the table afterwards. Like, what the fuck are you doing, bro?
Why would you do that? Why would you allow somebody at your age to do that to you? If they propose that to you, you just say, I'm not fucking...
Hold on a second. Time out. That guy's career, in parentheses, ended when Seth Rollins powerbombed him into the fucking... Was it Seth Rollins?
Yeah.
It was Seth Rollins.
Yeah, he did the buckle bomb.
And he did it to Finn Balor too, into the barricade and blew out his shoulder.
Right.
So this guy was like never gonna wrestle again, and now he's taking fucking table bumps off of the second turnbuckle to the outside of the ring.
Oh my god!
And hitting his head on the second table that he didn't fucking go through.
I saw that. I was like, he's dead. They're gonna kill him. They're gonna kill him.
Like for what reason?
There's
like
no reason.
What else do you have to prove in this business?
Absolutely nothing.
You're fucking Sting, bro.
It got me real excited when he was handcuffed to a chair because I was like, well, at least he can't go through a table.
Bro, I was like, Muda's gonna spray him with the mist. This is gonna maybe he's the new leader of the House of Black. Yeah. This could be kind of interesting, man.
Very random way to get Buddy Murphy off the.
And just for all you people listening, just so you know, I'm not like an insider. Just the Mood is Missed was a coincidence. The show 2 shows ago called Mood is Missed was just a coincidence. I swear to God, I am not writing for AEW, but Tony Khan, 60 G's, baby! I'll come right for you, bro. I'll help you out. I have no predilection to anyone in the wrestling business. I will come in and be the biggest dickhead in the world to everybody. You can still play nice guy. I'll be the dickhead, and I will talk to people how they should be talked to. Because I would tell people what's what. And let's face facts, dude. If it was me, I would put the fucking AEW championship and the ROH championship on different people.
Oh, yeah.
The AEW championship would go on Eddie Kingston immediately.
Wow, that's a bold statement.
I'd put it on him immediately. You want to know why? Because the people are behind Eddie Kingston. They fucking love that guy. And you want to talk about being able to deliver the total package? That guy has the total package.
So who does the ROH championship go on?
I would put it on Andrade. And I would build that stable up. With him, Roosh, you know.
This is probably going to be a very unpopular opinion.
Oh.
I would put it on Hook.
Hook?
You want him to be him to be a young up and coming head of a company?
No.
Let it be ROH because
he's not ready.
I'm just saying that's going to be your B show anyway.
Yeah.
You know, but let him fill that role.
Yeah.
And
I would give him the TV time there other than giving him the TV time. He's not ready for the big. I like the kid a lot. I think he's got a lot of potential and a lot of untapped potential.
I just feel like they're investing a lot in him, and they see him in that role. See what he has. Give it to him in ROH and see what he does with it.
Well, you know, I mean, him and fucking Action Bronson did very well. I was
very surprised. Very surprised.
I was actually more pleased with Action Bronson than I was with Hook because Hook. It's like he's his dad. He doesn't know how to sell.
Yeah.
Like, he takes a fucking suplex on his head and doesn't sell it.
Right.
I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right.
And, like, Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange are impeccable workers. They fucking work. They made Action Bronson look like he had been wrestling for years.
Right.
Come on, give me shoulder blocks. That's all that you need to do, bro. We'll put you over there doing fucking crazy bumps off of the fucking shoulder blocks. It was great.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Do you mind if I cut you off for a second there? Because I just noticed the time.
Cut me.
All right, because
cut me, Mick.
Because fuck you, WWE, for making us think that Bray was coming back last week on SmackDown, and then fuck you for bringing me back in with all this shit on Monday, and now White Rabbit Records is putting the area code for Wyndham, and it's like. Not area code, the zip code.
Let Me In is a campsite in Italy near the fucking rabbit.
Come on,
like dude.
It's got to be him, right? And I wanted to come back here, and I was done with it. I was done with it Friday. I texted you. I was like, I'm done with it. I'm done.
I texted you too, and I was like, I hate this shit. I can't.
I'm done with it. And then Monday, you brought me back in, you motherfuckers.
Dude, it's so intriguing. God, I can't get away from it, man, because it's so fucking smart.
I need it. I need some Bray Wyatt in my life. God damn it,
bro. I mean, the Let Me In.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck, dude? And who put these locations up?
Oh, yeah. No, to have this big of a play.
It has to be him, dude.
It has to be him.
Could you imagine if it was like Naomi and Sasha Banks? Dude, I would fucking die. I would fucking just die. Oh, she's not coming back, supposedly.
Yeah, she just changed her Twitter handle to her
real name.
Yeah. But yeah, fuck you, Bray. God damn it, come back,
fuck
please.
You, Bray. You're the smartest motherfucker in the wrestling business because you know how to suck people in, dude.
The whole who destroyed the world,
Oh my god, dude! There's so many fucking things that are involved.
Kills
it's so
me.
Good.
It's so good. It's so good. If it's not him, way to go. Fucking throw.
You've worked everybody.
Fucking fantastic. But when it is him, because it is him. It's going to be amazing.
Imagine if it's Vince McMahon.
Oh, my God.
Dude. I was thinking about it. This morning. I said, this could be fucking Vince.
Oh, he's gonna appear at the Hall of Fame.
The White Rabbit, dude. The White he pulls the mask off. It was me.
It was me all along.
I fucking love it, dude. I love it. And he comes back with his children, Hornswoggle and Shane. It's gonna be fucking great. Well, Alice in Wonderland, dude. He can be the little fucking. He's like the little fucking midget with the.
That's Wizard of Oz. That's okay.
Whatever. It's fine. Who cares? You know what? Fucking tune in Monday to Welcome to the Zoo. We'll be back next Saturday. Don't you miss out on one fucking episode. Go back and watch all of them. This is number 10. You got fucking 10 episodes to watch over the weekend. Pro Wrestling Summit. We're back in the motherfucking house next week. Boo.